The next thing we will do now is to connect our front end with to the back end. So if I go back to my source code, let me close this navbar and let me collapse everything. You will see I have the front end and the back end respectively. So I want to start the back end server and continue from there. So let me come over here and click on this button to split the terminal. So I will need to do cd server, and inside the server I will do npm start. Okay, the server has started. As you can see, the server is listening on port 8000, and then my front end is listening on port 5173. So coming back to my browser, if I should go to another tab over here and visit the local host 1000 slash API slash, for example, I say RAS, I will get the list of all the RS. Okay, there we go. You can see all the RS I get from this backend. Now what I am going to do is to see how I can get the same RS, but this time around inside my React front end, like so, inside here. So how I will do that is, first of all, I will need to, let me go to, let me start from the backend. So let me open the server, and then I will go to index.js. I will need to add course here so that I will be able to communicate between two different kind of websites. This one is port 5173 and this one is port 8000. So how I can do that is, let me come over here and do import course from course. Okay, after doing that, then I will come like over here and I will do app.use course as a function. Okay, so this will allow for cross origin resource sharing. So let me go ahead and save that, and then I will go over to the front end, and then in the front end let me go to the app. Inside the app I would like to import, let me come to the top here, I will do import use state as well as use effect hooks, and all of these are going to come from React. Okay, so the use of these hooks is that this use state hook will maintain what is inside a variable until we decide to change it, and this use effect is a side effect. It's a function that can run as a result of something that happens. So if you want to make the function to be dependent upon some change in some state of some other item in your application, that is when you should use effect hook. All right, so in addition to this, I'm also going to import, let me come like down here, I will come over here and I will import Axios from Axios. Okay, and with this Axios I should be able to make the HTTP request. So what I will do next is, let me come inside here, inside of this app, before the return statement I will create the hooks. So for example, let me do RAS as a RAS, and also the function to update that is going to be setras, like so. Okay, and these are going to be equals to use state. Okay, and the state is going to be an empty array for now. Later on I will decide what I will add inside here. Okay, so after that I will also do use effect hook, which is a function itself, and then inside it I will have a callback function. Okay, and this callback function should have a dependency array. With an empty array, it means it should run the first time this app component is loaded. Okay, so this use effect is actually going to perform some action. So what is the action? Well, let me create a function inside, and let me call the function get ras. Okay, as in get rs. So that is going to be equals to an async function. So what an async function means is that it is an asynchronous function which can run concurrently as other things is running. It can allow a little bit of some time in the background for something to happen. For example, right now we are going to fetch this rs. So that is why this has to be an async function. So inside the body of this async function, I will do try. Okay, try catch. So what does this try catch actually entails is that it will allow you to try to generate something, try to create some functionality, and if it is successful, then the try part is going to work, and if there is any error or failure or something, then the catch part is going to work. So let me simply do console log, and let me simply log whatever error is it that we can have if there is any error. So what do we have inside here? Well, let me create another variable, and I will call it res. Okay, and this res means response or result or whatever it is it you want to call it. In fact, it is totally fine, you can call it whatever. And let me call that Axios, which I imported. Axios dot, and this Axios, it has many functions. Okay, and I will do get, and what am I actually going to get is going to be http column slash slash localhost localhost column 8000 slash API slash rs. Okay, so that is what is going to call, and this result is going to return a promise. So since it is going to return a promise, then we must have to await it. So let me do await. Okay, so after awaiting for whatever result that comes out, then at least for now, let me do console log. Okay, and I will console log the response. Okay, so after everything down here, you need to come and initialize the function, which is getRas, like so. All right, so let me test the implementation so far. So let me save that, and if everything is successful, I will expect to see in the inside the console, I will expect to see the list of all these rs. So the list of rs like this is going to be displayed inside this console. So let me go to the dev tool. I will do inspect, and then I will go to console. Okay, so look at what I have. You see I have an object, and if I open the object, you see I have config, data, headers, request, whatever. So my target is on this header. So let me expand the header, and you can see I have all those arrays. All right. So now if I decide to say, okay, not all the not the object of this res, I want only the data right here, then that means it is only the data that is going to be returned. So I have saved that, and let me refresh the page, and let me see what comes as a result. So you see now I get only the data. Okay, and I do not have those other information that comes together with the response object. Okay, so now that I am able to lay my hands on the data, then I can decide to do something with the data. So what is it I want to do with the data is I want to get hold of this ras, this state which I initialized in the first place. So I want to update this ras and put the data inside the ras. So instead of this console log, I am actually going to say set ras, and that is going to be res dot data, like so.